Welcome to the WTF1 Hot Takes of the Week, where you send us your hot, spicy takes, and myself and the amazing Amber Jones, we dissect them, we break them down, and we tell how spicy they are going to be. Amber, you excited?
Very excited. Let's hope we got some spicy hot takes.
Well, the first one's going to come in from @AndrewR31 over on Twitter, and they say, as a Hamilton fan, I think Sainz will outperform him in 2025.
It's hard to say because if you look at how this season's gone, of course, you know, Sainz is outperforming in the
Where
Ferrari.
will Sainz be?
That's why I stopped Hayden. That's why I thought, oh no. Because if Sainz is in a Red Bull, then I do think he will be outperforming Hamilton in the Ferrari. But if Sainz is in a midfield team or a lower end team, then no. So it really depends on the situation, the circumstance for this one. Because Hamilton should technically be the more experienced driver and be better. But we might not see that. And we're not seeing that in Mercedes because Mercedes is struggling so much this season. So it's a really hard one. It is spicy for me, but can't say fully. That's where I'm going with this
fence.
one.
Back on the fence again.
I've not run on the fence for a while as well. I've been doing amazing, but
you are back.
This one's too difficult because we don't have the circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, I can fully understand that. If it goes to Red Bull, I think it would be a yes. Red Bull have such an advantage, and this season more than last season at the moment, because at least in qualifying, Ferrari were close and they were able to just snag a pole position here and there. But this season, every single session, I think qualifying session, Verstappen has been 2 tenths clear. I think it's been consistent across the three. It looks like it's got further away, at least in quali, and then in race pace, it's also been quite far away, bar Australia. But we weren't able to see exactly what Verstappen could have done there. He could have been miles up the road, or he could have been, behind the Ferraris like Sergio Perez claimed that they were going to be. So I think if he's there, yes. I think Red Bull, he would do better than Hamilton. Anywhere else, though, it's a no for me. He's not getting McLaren. McLaren are locked in. So it's either a Mercedes, an Aston, or is it lower down the field, getting ready for Audi at stake? So if it's there, no.
You heard it first, everyone. Hayden said that. I think also because Hamilton is then going to come to Ferrari, a team that might celebrate him, you know what I mean? They're really going to support him and work with him. Whereas if Sainz goes over to Red Bull, and like I always say, the philosophy of Red Bull is we are favouring Max Verstappen. We're probably not going to put much support into the second driver. We just want you to be consistent to help our number one driver. So if Sainz gets that treatment, even if he's in a Red Bull, he actually might not outperform Hamilton. If Hamilton gets that, yes, it's Lewis Hamilton. Oh my gosh, it's the GOAT coming to our team. He's going to bring amazing sponsorship and marketing for us. He's also an amazing driver, so hopefully he gets in the points, gets us, high in the constructors for himself in the driver standings. He's going to be celebrated. I don't think Sainz is going to be met with the same. Yeah,
I mean, you do make a good point that the car would be definitely tailored to Max. What Max wants, they're going to go with because he's the number one driver. That's completely fair. And, anyone who says that's a bad thing to do is, wrong. I think, it's the right thing to do. You would go with your lead driver.
Support your winning driver.
Exactly.
It's difficult. It's really difficult. What are you rating this on spiciness?
In terms of how much it's made my head hurt, it's a 5 because I don't know which way to go. I'm unsure. The stick on a 4. Definitely a spicy one. I definitely think it will divide a lot of people. And because we don't know where Sainz is, it makes it a lot harder. If we knew where Sainz was, then I think I could give you a yes or a no. Right now I can't, but I'm just going to go with my fanboy favoritism, and it will be Lewis Hamilton will be doing better.
Yeah, Hayden, I actually agree with you on this one, but I'm going to put it at a 3.
Okay.
Because it can go either way, you know what I mean? It can be less spicy, or it could be really spicy, but I don't know. I can't tell you, so I'm going to sit right in the middle at a 3.
Okay.
But if I had to have an opinion, I think Hamilton ultimately is going to outperform Sainz, because now I'm thinking obviously the whole Red Bull situation if he doesn't get favoured as the driver. So it's a 3 on my scale. Unless it's
back-to-back championships for Carlos Sainz 2024 and 2025. Who knows? On to the next hot take, and this one comes from @Utal. This is also from Twitter, and they say the next new world champion is not currently on the grid. So that means
that's a very spicy
that
one.
At the moment, until the next one, we're going to get championships from Verstappen, Hamilton, or Alonso, because they're the only champions on the grid. So no
that
Norris.
just outrules every
no
other
Russell,
driver.
No Leclerc, no Sainz, no Perez.
Unfortunately, I have to agree.
Really?
I really don't think, because if I'm looking at the grid now,
But who's that driver not on the grid then?
well, we don't know, because you could say
You can look at F2, F3.
yeah, but you could say, oh, it could be Liam Lawson or it could be Ollie Berman, but you don't know that, because they might come into F1 and have a stinker of the first few seasons or the first season if they don't make it into another season. So yeah, this one's really spicy because I just don't see any other driver on the grid at the minute that hasn't already won a world champion being the world champion. I don't think Charles has a chance, unfortunately, unless in some crazy world Max Verstappen's not in the sport and Charles is in the Red Bull. I don't see it being Sainz. I don't see it being Norris or Piastri or any of them until Max Verstappen's removed from the sport. If Max isn't in it, then yes, potentially it's one of them
10-time world champion, Max Verstappen, incoming. So no Alonso sneaking one in there, no Hamilton sneaking one in there.
Only if something goes wrong at Red Bull.
Damn, okay. I'm looking at this, I'm like, Kimi Antonelli, but in F2 he's not really he's not blowing the field away at the moment. Kind of stabbing in the dark really here.
Yeah.
And if we're going to go stabbing in the dark, then I'm going to say I disagree with it, and Oscar Piastri is going to be our next new world champion.
Hayden,
wins.
my head is hurting from this one.
Where are we
This
rating
is
it?
very spicy. I like this one. It's a nice debate though, but again, can't say. It's all what ifs and what's going to happen. No.
You've gone for so long.
No. No, I'm giving it a 5. I'm going super spicy.
I will also go for a 5. I think this is very, very spicy. I think a lot of people will debate this. You've got so many fan bases be like, Norris fans are going to be like, no, how dare you? And then you're going to get like Russell fans be like, no, our one's going to. Leclerc fans be like, no. Even the Danny Rick fans are probably going to put his name in there.
Not going to comment on that.
But yeah, I think it's definitely up
Super
there.
spicy.
Very spicy one. And yeah, I disagree with it. Come on, Piastri. Right, let's look at our last hot take of the week. This one comes over from our Facebook, and this comes from Tio D. Kenneth. And they say, Yuki Tsunoda, top 5 finish at Japan in the RB. He's been slowly performing, picking up the
really
results.
back Yuki Tsunoda, so I feel like I don't think I'd put Yuki next. It'd be maybe a Mercedes or maybe a McLaren. So for me, automatically, I'm thinking no, too unrealistic.
Well, I'm going to surprise you, and I'm going to say I also disagree with it because yes, okay, he scored points last time out at Australia, but we lost the 2 Mercs and Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
That was 3 drivers not scoring points, and then Fernando Alonso got a penalty on top of that. So because of all of those things, that allowed him to finish in P7. If there is not a single retirement out of those top 5 teams, no one in the bottom 5 is scoring points, in my view. We saw it in Bahrain. None of them scored. Hulkenberg got a point in Saudi, but that was because Lance Stroll DNF'd.
Yeah.
So unless any of those top 5 teams DNF or have an absolute stinker, no. Or it rains.
Which I do, well, exactly. I do think something's going to go wrong for someone in that race.
5 people?
No.
5 drivers?
I definitely think we're going to lose 2 people, or something happens where there's, a safety car or the session's stopped or something. So maybe people don't DNF, but something happens and he can gain those positions. Potentially he'll be in the top 10. Or no, I think he will be in the top 10 if he performs well. He has that pressure on him already. So I think top 10 is realistic. Top 5, super unrealistic.
But yeah, so rating this as a spicy hot take, I don't think it's that spicy. I think it's like a 2. I think it's like, I'm a Yuki fanboy, but I'm also realistic. I think this is just someone who's a Yuki fan for sure, wants them to perform well, really hopes they get top 5. And yeah, same. I also hope he gets top 5. That'd be incredible. But realistically, it's going to need a lot of things to happen. So it's a 2 for me, spicy, and I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think if it was a different driver, maybe like the McLarens or the Aston Martins, because they could have a really good race and get, P5, P6 or even P4 if something goes wrong with the top 2 teams. But yeah, with Yuki, unfortunately, I just don't see it happening, like you say, unless something else happens in that race, which I'm praying it does anyway. Keep it nice and interesting. Unfortunately, Yuki, it's a no for me. I'm going to rate it a 3 because I think we had a nice debate there.
Okay.
I think there was a lot to talk about in relation to that, even though we both knew, like, no, it's not going to happen. But there was some nice things we can bounce off. So I'm giving that a 3 for that hot take.
I think today we've had some very spicy hot takes. I think we've had some good hot takes sent in. Thank you very much for sending in your hot takes at home. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us and get your hot takes included on the next one, then make sure you let us know either on Twitter, Facebook, or in the comment section here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the WTF1 channel, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.